Hello everyone and welcome to a tutorial series on an open source racing game project. I have always wanted to create tutorials and I also feel the need to channel some of my energy into public projects as a break from my main work. So this series is the result of that. The idea for this project came from my belief that many of the techniques and tools I use in my game projects could be valuable to others. This is why I decided to share them here in this tutorial. In this series, I will show you how to build a racing game from scratch using NWH vehicle physics. It is a paid asset that you will need to follow along. We will also demonstrate that you can work with a simpler car controller. NWH actually includes one, so it should be proof of concept anyway. Although much of the functionality is designed anyway in the future to work with NWH vehicle physics in mind, so while you can follow along without it, you will miss out some of the advanced features. Besides that, I think no other paid assets are required. So yeah, just to be clear, this project is not sponsored, I'm not getting paid. All of the code will be also publicly available on GitHub, ergo why it is an open source racing game project. So everyone can contribute and benefit from it as they like, you know. So if other NWH developers have patches or things they want to contribute, like, I don't know, a track, you know, whatever, you know, you're more than welcome to contribute. A quick note, I'm French, but I will do my best to be as clear as possible. You are welcome to ask questions in the comment, like maybe you didn't understand a word I said or something I did, and maybe I will eventually release a French version of the tutorial. Additionally, all the steps will be available on GitHub as we complete them, like first commit will be this tutorial, the second commit will be the second tutorial, and so on. Now let's us dive in the first video. In this video, we will create a simple menu and a few basic functions to handle it, including sub-panel and loading a scene. I'm not sure how long it will take just yet, as I will be recreating it from memory. So now, onto the coding. So I'm not going to bother you onto how to create a project, but this is like a basic project created with UnityEvents. So no ERP or nothing. So we are going to first take the sample scene. We are going to rename it menu scene. So this is going to be our menu scene. We are also duplicating it with Control D because we want a secondary scene, which is going to be the load scene. So later on, it can be like a character creator, it can be a track, it can be nothing. But for now, it's going to be like a sample scene that we are going to load into, just for demonstrating how we do it from the menu. You can expand on it later, we will probably maybe change it later, but as for the tutorial, we will keep it very simple, at least at first. Maybe we'll expand the functionality later and refactor it, but for now, this is going to be just like how to demonstrate how to do it. Yeah? So we also want a few folders. So we are going to respect like the Unity hierarchy structure of the folder. So we want a resource folders. So resources, sorry. So we can like resource load later from it with resources functions of Unity. And we want a script folder. In this script folder, I'm just gonna like create a simple script which we are going to expand onto along this tutorial, which is going to be the menu controller script. And we are going to open it into Visual Studio 2. So I did already loaded before, but anyway. So, and from this now we are going to go back into Unity and we are going to create the UI and everything else. So I'm going to save and see you in a second because I'm going to do a jump cut. So as you can see, inside the resource folder, we created a textures folder. And inside the textures folders, I put a little game logo, which I generated with Canva AI art generator. So it's a 1024 by 1024 image, already made as a sprite. So for the meat of the UI menu and stuff, we are going to create a canvas. First of all, I have preferences for renaming it UI or GUI. I'm sorry if I stutter a little, but that's still okay. We want to scale it to the 1920p and 1080p. 80. And we want to match mostly with 8. And if you don't scale your canvas, this is going to be probably the bane of your existence. So you have to be careful about it. First of all, in the UI, we are going to create a canvas. This canvas is going to be the skeleton, basically, of... no, sorry, not a canvas. um, a panel, sorry. And this panel is going to be the backbone of your menu. So first of all, you want to align it to the left, middle left, preferable. It doesn't want to align first, but it is okay. So we are going to set it, for my example, as a 400 large panel. Now we can force it to go back to the left, and we can extend it from top to bottom, so we have no issues when seeing it into different resolutions. It will always scale properly, at least with the scaling and with extending from top to bottom. Next, we want inside these panels, so we can name this like a menu background, whatever you want to name it, but that could be an idea. And then we are going to create an image inside it. So we want to be it at the top. Maybe we can like also like maybe add like a bit more of, maybe not 750, but 750 with padding from top. And then you have like your image. So it is at 100 by 100. I don't think it is good enough. So since it is a 1024 image, we can go like 226 by 226. So since we've got a bigger image, we are going to do something like maybe 130, maybe 145. Yeah, that is good. And if you want to continue a little bit, you could add like a small UI text mesh pro, for example, in that case, you know. And yeah, open source racing game. And maybe we can put it down. Yes, like that. The font should be something like 32, I think. Maybe you can put it like very red and gold. No? In order for it to fit, we want maybe to be like have a 33. Yes. We do this. Regarding to the image, I do like -1. Yeah, this is good. We also want then to center the text, maybe. I think that's better. And we can do something like an outline. So the outline is not that much, so we can go like excessively like that, but we don't want that. We want something like 0.2, something like that, you know. And you can also like, if you want that, you can like underlay it, but that's enough, you know, as a text example of what you can do. Maybe, I mean, I'm thinking if, yeah, I think that should be it. So, next, we are going to create the first menus. So, first of all, we are going to create menu entries. And just after that, we are duplicating it, sorry. And we do a menu panels. And see you in a short jump cut. So I don't know if I will leave or not the jump cuts. I do say maybe not. But anyway, we are now going to do menu panels. So we want something very simple in concept. So we're going to do like a panel. Where is it? Yep, here it is. So, and we want this to be You have measurements somewhere? Yeah, here. Maybe. No, yes, no, yes. So I want this to extend to minus 150 to the left, minus 250 to the top, minus 150 to the right, and minus 250 to the bottom. So that should give you a very good panel, normally. Okay, so this is like the base size of the panel. So we want something that is like not almost completely dark, but almost. So we want something to be in the range 245 in opacity and to be black. And this is going to be your sub panel template, kind of. So I scaled a bit in this, but yeah. For now, what we are going to do is save this as panel template. So you can always go back to this one if you need it. And we are going to duplicate it and disable it. So the idea in this tutorial is to show you how to make a simple panel, very quick. The idea is that the panel is a list of maybe tracks, you know, or yes, list of tracks, but then you go to config your tracks, modules, whatever, you know. But yeah. So for this is going to be the single panel. We are going to create a vertical group in this, a grid layout group, sorry. Grid layout group. And we are going to create an element which is going to be a mini panel. So again, we go with a panel. And this panel is going to be like, well, I don't have the size, what the something is. Wait, what? Coming back after a single check. So yeah, after checking, yeah, basically I am still in a good direction, but yeah, I was thinking maybe I don't use a panel, but I have to use a panel, and normally this panel, yeah, I have to, yeah, a panel, and yeah, so you have to set up like a padding, what you're going to use between each cell. Well, no, it's not going to make sense, but it will in a few seconds. So I set a pad cell size of a cell size, sorry, of 200 by 200. But again, it is something that is like up for you to decide. And I want this to be separated by 50 pixels every time. So we are going to name this like a race selection. And we are going to add two elements inside the object. First, we are going to add an image. And normally it should be, yeah, sorry. You have to select, of course, the element you're in. And this image, I think I have to look back at my reference on the left, on the right, sorry, of the screen. So yeah. So yeah, the image should be 100 by 100, so that's fine actually. That's fine. And we also want, and that's the second thing you need to do of slot, if you want. You want to call that a slot, is a single button. So where is it? Button, yeah, yeah. I want just to be sure. Yeah, race select. 1. Maybe that can help. We want this to be a bottom on the bottom, sorry, of the image. We want maybe to set it a little bit higher, something like 24 pixel, 25. 25 is good. And this is going to be labeled entry click. For now, it's not gonna matter what it's going to be. And we are going to duplicate this, I'd say like 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there you go. You'll get a basic menu with race select that you can. I mean, it is race select, but it can be anything. It could be like the options UI with sliders and whatnot. I mean, the idea is it is separated by a main panel, and then you do your logic inside. This could be like prefabs, for example, that you load. I don't know, for example, loading characters, for example, or cart, or module of the carts, well, I mean, you see what I mean. I mean, exactly. So, I'm going to do another jump cut, so to save this step, because I didn't structure too much, and that is good and whatnot. And see you after a jump cut, or junctions, or whatever. And we are going to attack the scripting of this menu. Okay, so we are now going to attack the scripting part of this. For now, we are going to hide the single race panel because this is a panel that we want to be showing up, like that simulation, when we click on single race. So otherwise, we don't want that. So that is going to be like that for a while. So if you remember, I did create a menu controller script, which is empty. And here it is. So just quickly having my template. So okay. So we are going to use notably we are going to use UnityEvents to manage the menus and the UI. UnityEvents allows you to basically do things such as activating a game object or whatever. So for now, we are going to do like public Unity event, and this is going to be the menu on. So it should be self-explanatory in itself. We want also the menu off. So we don't want start, but we want to be using the awake method. And this is, and I'm going to explain this quickly, to avoid problems when we have like another instance of this. So for later, but also for now, we are going to create a menu controller instance. And in awake, we are going to do a few things. So first of all, menu controller instance, we are going to create scene instance. And we are going to want to find object by type menu controller. So, and now we are going to do a check. So if instance is not null, and instance is equal to this, or, and this is where this is important, scene instance is not null, and scene instance is not this. If those conditions are met, then we want to inform the player, or man actually the developer. So duplicate instance, remove it. Ready, removing it. And if you are like very implicated on English wording, you do like a proper capital letter at the start. And then, if this is the case, you destroy the object. If it is not the case, if none of these conditions are met, then instance is this class, this object, and we start to not destroy, unload, or game object. This is very important because the UI element of the menu, as you are going to see, is going to be used everywhere inside the game, at least in my conception of it. So you can do like an escape menu and a main menu all in one, without like having to do crazy things, you know. But you can do it with prefabs and whatnot. This is another topic. So on the menu on, what do we have? So first of all, we want to add the object here. And we also want to save the script. And I think something is maybe amiss, because I do not see. Wait, I do not see my event. Oh yes, but because yeah, it is. Yep. Writing this. So this is because instead of using Unity event, yeah, this is because of that. I just didn't use the proper thing, so correct this into your code if you did the same mistake as I did. And I do the mistake while having a template on the side. So normally, no, this should be showing menu on and menu off. So we are going to add an entry to both of them. And what we want to be on, actually, is we want, of course, we are going to do one modification quickly. So we want an object which is going to represent only the menu. So we are going to do like quickly create empty in this menu. And we want all of the entries, main entries, to go inside menu. So on menu on off, of course we want the menu to be turned on. So we want, and this is why Unity events are really nice things, game object, and we want to be set active. And of course, since we're turning the menu on, we want it to be active. We also want this to be editor and runtime. And we also want menu entries to be on and menu panels to be on. So again, object set active, we set on. Again, set active, and we set it on too. And normally that should be good enough, I think. I don't think we need that much of configuration here, because normally menu off should be taking the object menu and set it not active. So basically simulation, poof, normal menu. So that's the first events we want to set up. We are going to set up more events, but this is me explaining you along the way what kind of code we are going to do. So normally I'm just checking quickly. Do you see the code? Yes, you see the code. So we are now also going to create a few more events. This one is going to be delete Unity event, escape menu on, and escape menu off. And this should be like subject is not sorry. And here we are going to panel better because we recognize that the code is not that perfect. And here again, and I don't know why it is put it to private. I want that to be used to be public. Public. So again, public Unity event, and this is single race panel on. We are also now going to create, so I'm not sure if it needs to be static. So we are going to not create it as static, but controls, escape, menu, and our UI elements. This is public pool is in game. And we are also wanting something else, but this is going to be private because it's going to be this is a variable to control if a menu is or is not shown. And I think we are good. We are good, sorry, go. We are going to do so first function. Yeah, I want to separate this with a line. Thank you. It's a bit better. This doesn't need to be. Yeah, I don't know. This needs to be actually, and this. Yeah, but yeah, no, actually, no. Internally debating about coding design. But well, so we want first of all public white change scene string scene name, and we are going to first of all I want to unload the scenes we are in, because if this function has been called, this means we are going to move a scene. So there is no like checking up in here if we are loading the scene or not. It's like we are going to load the scene. And I'm missing, yes. You are going to need also to add yep. OBS is not where it should be. Unity Engine scene management, because we are going to load scenes, so we need to be able to access it. So unload scene async, because unload scenes regular one is not apparently recommended anymore, it is deprecated. We want to get active scenes, get active scene.name, so we can do that and load it. And then, only then, yeah, almost, load the scene that was provided as a parameter. So, like in theory, right now, and I'm going to demonstrate you how the menu work. If I go onto menu entries, we are going to simulate with this. So add an event which can work in runtime and editor. We add the UI element. We then go look up for the controller function, which is change scene, and we type the name of the scene we want. First of all, this is not going to work like that. If you do that, I'm going to show you. Unity is going to complain about you not having the scene properly into the settings of the application. So first of all, you can press Ctrl Shift and B, which will make appear the build settings. Then you add, first of all, the first scene, which we need to, and you add, of course, ensure that you save this scene, you load the other scene, and you add it like that. I'm not sure, maybe you can do something like, yeah, I think you can do like, just load them like that. But now that we have like fixed this, it will load the load scene, and it will show everything else. So we don't know that we are in the load scene apart by the hierarchy, but we know that the first thing that you can see is the menu stays there. So that is a problem. And we also don't want to load directly the load scene. We want to activate the single race panel. So we are going to do that in a second. I'm going to do a jump cut to save this because this is a long take, and I think it needs to be saved as this. See you in a minute, or less actually. It's a minute in live. So I had to re-record actually the things that we were doing because it was taking a long time actually, and I had some bugs I had to find out. So first of all, please take notes that we have like several events. So I am not sure how many we did add like just before, but yeah, we had in total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 events. We have a boolean for is in-game and another one for escape menu. So one things you want to correct is you want this to be find object of type and not find any object of type. That was a mistake. And you want to be checking that this is not equal to this. Well, that was like 2 major bugs before. So yeah. And we have also like a setup. So we are going to go along with it. So editor on is like we want the menu to be on, menu background to be on, menu entries to be on, menu panels to be on. And the menu off is just globally the whole object is like turned off and on, you know. We have like others options. So the UnityEvents for escape menu on and off. So right now we are going to write again the function that is going to allow you to go inside the game, loading the load scene function. And also we will be correcting the load scene function because there was a bug, so it was missing an event system. So but basically, yeah, basically you just like go here and you can like save the scene. You duplicate it, and in your new scene, you just disable UI and your name. Well, I mean, you just recreate the load scene and you ensure that there is like an event system inside it, because else clicking will not work. So, first of all, we want, as I said, the loading scene objects. So, on menu entries. So we are going to use like selectable entries, you know, and codes like 0x0, like 0 is the first panel and x0 is the one panel, you know. So we are going to do this while on menu entry click with a string. Yeah, we are going to call it void string entry. And I'm not gonna explain too much the code in order to keep the tutorial clean and not too long. But basically, we want Later, use mask layer for our methods, as this is really manual. So if entry is equal to 0x0, then we want to be doing the single race panel on. So you want to show up panel of it. Else, if it is not this one, because we don't introduce another panels for now, so it is an absolute else. Would be else if all a switch with false. Else single race panel is going to be turned off. Is what we want. Okay. So we are going to validate that it works. So single race panel is normally configured, if I remember. Yes, it is here. So we need to check on the menu entries, single race. Yeah, when it was missing a function, but that's okay. That's because I rewrite like the code, but do not worry. And we are where it is. Trying to find it. Oh yes, it's because I forgot to. No, it is public. Oh. Oh, maybe it is because I forgot to save. Yes. You have to be sure that you propagate your code. So, if you are not sure, this is the code that you just write enough for your entry. And when you entry click, apparently was the name of the function. So we validate that it works. Single race, the panels appear. If we click here, it doesn't appear. So if you didn't remember, or maybe it was not into the tutorial, basically I set up the same kind of setting here, but instead of 0x1, 0x0, I set 0x1. Since it is not this panel, it is by default disabling it, you know. But it could be like if it is 0x1. Okay, so it is working, and that is very fine. Now, I want to introduce another function, which is going to be what the button inside the panel is going to do. So load scene, yeah, okay. So we have like a function that was sorry, just a second. Show me, yes. Okay, so that was public void on panel entry. So you are going to be having to be very careful about the order of execution, because this did hit me a lot of time. And if you do mess with it, you know, it is going to be a problem. So, first of all, we don't care about like what is inside the panel. We load what the panel tells us to load. But if in load is equal to load in, then we want to be turning in is in the game to true. We want to be sure that the escape menu is false though, because we didn't open it, so we want it to be self-using it. It will be done in update later, you will see. We want to be turning off the panel we were from. Maybe we can like have a massive unload function, but I am not sure. That could be done easily, so but it will be a subject for another time. So invoke disabling the panel you're from. You could be doing this from like list any or any panel, you know, a function specific to it. But anyway, and then you want to be change scene load, and I think normally we can do menu off. But invoke for now, and it will work. Let's go and test it. So normally you should have to configure your button here, but I did it before, so Unity does remember. Sorry. So yeah, entry click, we are in. And for now the escape menu is not working, but we will implement that in a few seconds. So we are going to also do the options, the other one, which is going back from the game. So else if scene load is equal to menu scene, which is what the button here is using. So it calls menu scene. So if it's menu scene, then is in game is equal to false. The escape menu is also false. In any case, we want escape menu off to be called, and we want for menu on to be called. So you have to be careful, because escape menu off deactivate things that menu on activate. So you need to be careful about what you are turning on and off. And this was like, and I should, despite coding it, well, maybe I did code it at 3 in the morning. I did fall into the trap. We are going to do a quick implementation of update parameters controls for the UI. So mainly we are checking if we are in game. If so, I want, no, to check input but get on, and we want keycode dot escape. And then I want to invert the value escape menu. I want to indicate also into the Unity player log that we are in escape menu. This is only for debugging purposes. Like if you see this in the main menu scene, you know that there is a problem. And we want here, and it's going to be very simple, to be switching on the value of escape menu. We want, but if in case it is true, you show escape menu on to invoke. and inversely, and we are going to copy past the code because I am a bit tired of copying it, typing it manually. In case this false, we want the off version of it. And that should be it. And also, I wanted a public wide hit game, which will not work for now, because it might be working on the build player, but not in the Unity editor. But there is a way to simulate that it stops playing, like, and we will check that later. For now, we will check the validity of all of this. So normally we click single race, entry, we go inside the game, we have a menu, escape menu, which get deactivated, and we reload the menu. So if you're not sure it does work, you do a loop like that of checking. But normally everything should be working. So, and yes, I did re-record this part because it was a solid 30 minutes in the fog, and I was like, what did I break? And so yeah. For fun, because now we are done, we are going to add a few things so we know that we are inside the load scene. So we are going to do something like a plane. So we are going to center it. Yeah. We are going to expand it in 10 units in both directions, maybe. Yes. And I suggest that we go now into the resource folder. We do a material folder. So you will store your materials into this later. Just let me check my reference materials on the side. Oh, actually, the Unity version of this is closed. Hold on for a moment. Okay, so let me check. Yes, we are in Unity. So go inside the materials folder. We are going to do a few materials. So we are going to do like plain material, and a cube material, actually, that is all. So plain and cube. So it's just like a little bit of decoration. So 61, 61. Well, actually, I got it in hexadecimal. So you want to have this value, so kind of blue, so 51 R, 61 G, and 134 B, so in RGB. And we, for the, well, actually, I wanted the cube to be orange, so voilà. And it is the plane that I wanted to be blue. Okay, so we are going to put the material onto the plane, so you can see better now. And I am going to place a few cubes. So it's just to demonstrate quickly a little bit of, scene design. So 15, maybe it is too high, Yeah, maybe it is too high. I want the cubes to be falling down like that. And then I'm going to duplicate it. Oh, wait. I want the cube to be this. Yeah. And then we are going to duplicate it. Let's go for scene view a little bit. So actually the camera is, yeah, camera could be like that. So yeah, sorry, I had like a bit of coughing and I had to pause the recording a little. But yeah, we are going to add it to have like rigid body on it. And yeah, let's make it like 100 in white. You'll see why. So, and now I want to be duplicating it. So one like that, like that. Then something maybe like that. Okay, and yeah, you get the idea. So when you press start, your cube will be falling. So to not go too much deep into the tutorial, but yes, normally you have now a menu scene, which can open panels load into a main scene, and then you can go back to the main scene. And that is all. I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope that you did understand my English. I did try my best. The next tutorial will be making a small track. So we are going to use Road Architect. We are also maybe going to use an asset that I know, which is free. That is a fence laying tool, laying out a tool, you know. So we can like place fences around the track and whatever. We will be configuring a little bit Road Architect to configure the size of the road and whatever. And well, see you then. And I hope that you liked the tutorial. And on to part 2.